who didn't
ma'am.
get nurtured properly up until they was 15?
Oh, definitely, and definitely, I think this happened with a lot of men. I think that speaks to men's trauma, especially black men's trauma. I think that nurturing is so important. I think a lot of men just didn't get nurtured.
So with that said, though, right? Say if
Mhm.
you're pregnant, how much of a say so do that man have of keeping that child?
See, and that's an interesting question because I'm pro-choice. I'm black certa, but I'm pro-choice. I don't know how to feel about this issue just yet because it's so complex. Because you talking about an autonomous person, but I've always felt like the father should have a certain involvement in
Mhm.
their decision. But in certain ways that can't be helped because that speaks to the nature of the relationship, how that child was conceived. If you have a one night stand, y'all not gonna be on a level where y'all may or may not may have that discussion. But if y'all involve relationship, I just think a man should have say so. But I think it's unfair to women either way.
You think it's so? Do you think it's unfair to women, like if they want to keep the child and the man don't want nothing to do with it afterwards?
Then I think for first of all, I'm trying to help get a law passed where every birth has a paternity test. Period. Merit every birth. Period. And the thing about that is that's the only way I can see for a man to really have his paternal rights represented. But as far as you talking about a woman's health, you talking about a woman's mental health. I'm just worried about how I address it. So I let women handle that part. But I think as men, we can control our rights as fathers and paternities. I think that law is important. I think cut down a lot of paternity fraud, and whether you married or not, it should be done. So in terms of a woman's reproductive rights, there's only so much I can say. I can just control what we can do as men on our end.
As a woman, I feel that it takes two to get pregnant. If
True.
if she is
Yeah.
pregnant and he wants to keep the baby and she don't, he has no say so. She goes and gets rid of it.
Mhm.
Vice versa. If she is pregnant, he's made it adamantly clear, I don't want this child. I feel like he should be able, while she's pregnant, like as soon as they find out, whatever, don't wait 5 years down the line. But I feel like while she's pregnant, he should be able to sign those rights over
Can I
and
can I
say,
add
I
one
am
thing?
no longer in
Ooh,
this
that's
child's
deep.
life.
And
And
I
and
agree.
and
Me, I agree with you. Let me add one thing. I think it should be after the birth
no,
paternity test.
no,
I think it should be
no, no,
before.
no, no, no,
Maya's
no.
right.
A
I agree
maternity,
with
if
Maya.
you don't want a child, if a girl is pregnant, if she has the baby and has the paternity test, she can't then go abort it. No, you
I
make that
understand that.
decision beforehand. So you have to make the decision within the first 12 weeks, just like she has to make the
That's
decision
true.
within the first 12 weeks. So within that first 12 weeks or however long, I'm thank God I've never had to go through that. I don't
Right.
know how long it is, what the time frame is, but within that time frame, you say, hey, I don't want to be a part of this child's life. You sign over. Don't wait till that baby here and you've
So
been
will
there,
he?
you doing this and doing that,
Okay, I
and
see
then
what
the
you're saying. I
paternity
see what you're
test.
saying. I see what you're
But
saying.
will he still be considered a deadbeat though?
No, no, you sign over the
No.
rights. That's not your
No,
child.
So
I'm speaking. I'm speaking as a whole though. Like, of course, your opinion or whatever like is one, but as a whole, when he be considered a deadbeat, it doesn't matter how we feel. Whatever it's based off of what
I
the
don't think
narrative
so.
of the baby mother would want to let out.
I,
As a
I
man,
don't think I don't think so.
as a man, he's a deadbeat. If you just
I mean,
popping out
he
babies,
made it.
if you popping out babies and you just signing off rights because you don't be responsible for them, that makes you a deadbeat. That makes you not a man. You just a dog breeding.
So what about the women that's giving their kids out for adoption or going through abortions? Are they deadbeats too?
Yeah.
No, no.
I said no.
No,
Come on.
some are. But see, here's the thing with I have a special relationship with women. I think of them
I know.
because I'm trying to think about when a woman has to put. No, let me finish. I'm
I'm
thinking
finished.
in terms of when a woman puts a child up for adoption about the emotional process for her. That's why I'm saying they're not deadbeats. I'm taking that into account.
I never heard of a deadbeat mother, honestly.
I
But they
I
are
know
some.
some.
I know
I
Me
know
some.
neither.
some.
Me
Never in my
neither.
You
But
life.
never
then
heard of a
I
we
deadbeat
know
should
mother?
we
some.
should start saying
Girls
No.
it though.
out here having
We
babies
should
and not
definitely start
taking
saying
care
it
of them,
though.
and they got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids, and they're not providing for any of them. They're letting other people do it, or just leaving the
I
kids
know some
off the
deadbeat
beat,
moms.
whatever.
Mhm.
And
What?
let me tell you, my grandma used to tell me a dog can lay down and have a baby. That don't make them raise it. So no, they're definitely deadbeat moms.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Facts.
yeah,
And those are the
Facts.
worst kind.
yeah.
Definitely some
So
deadbeats out here. Cause baby, listen where I live at. I see it every day.
But
And
in
that's why
my
you see,
face, I never heard somebody say, "Man, look at that deadbeat mom over there."
I hear it
Like,
all
I
the time.
never seen it.
I
Never.
hear it.
Well, you
I've
know
heard it
what?
all the time.
I will say this. I feel, and I could be wrong. It may just be my circle. I feel like the deadbeat moms, the reason you don't hear that is because the moms that take care of their kids, they not friends with them people over there. Like
Right.
deadbeat dads can be cool with dads to take care of their kids for whatever reason, and I don't understand it. But ain't no way you a mama, you have a child, and you don't take care of your child, and you think you finna be in my circle. So that's the reason you don't hear me speak on them, because they over there somewhere, because they're not gonna be. You don't deserve my friendship if you can't raise your child.
Right.
You're not finna drink from my bottle. You're not finna sit at my house, have your feet up, and you don't
While
take
your
care of your
kids need
child.
something.
Just like I feel like deadbeat dads. If you're a good daddy, you shouldn't be friends with a deadbeat dad. How the hell could that be your homie? And you're not a real friend if you ain't telling him to take care of your child.
Right.
I'm not friends with deadbeat dads either because I'm
Me
a mom.
neither.
So as a mother, I sit back and I know what it feels like to have a dad blatantly not take care of their child because of whatever dumbass reason they feel is their valid reason to not do it. So why would I sit back and watch you as a friend put a woman through the same turmoil that I went through taking care of my own children?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Makes sense.
Perfect sense.
That's why you don't hear it. I mean, if you're around good mamas, you won't hear it.
Yeah, but it's definitely some deadbeats.
Can't men hide it a lot easier because like we think the women should be around the children?
You
This
say
is why
what?
like it's okay. So when you said like it's easier to accept the man being the deadbeat than the woman, right? Well, isn't it because the women is like harder to hide because the like women are usually having the children?
Yeah. How could you have something in you? You feel a kick. Like you built that bond and that connection with your child while you have to quit drinking, smoking, whatever you're doing, clubbing. You have to sit down and build that bond with that connection with that child that whole time. So how dare you have that child in you and then push it out, get it cut out, however that baby came out of you, and then you turn your back on it.
Right.
That's you. That was inside of you. What you mean? How dare you? Like, I ain't no way. And that's one reason I guess I can't understand deadbeat dads, but because that's your child, maybe because you didn't birth it. And when I felt my kids kick, I can tell you the
So
time they was born, how big they were, and however it is, all of that. So how dare my son just turned 20 and I couldn't turn my back on him now, and he a grown man.
Right.
So
would a
does that
deadbeat
kick in
mom
where we
be
talking
considered
about
heartless?
thank
Mm.
you, Smooth. That's where I was going.
So like no, so what this move say? What you
I
say?
said, would a deadbeat mom be considered heartless?
Hell yeah. And
Yes,
so
because
it's
how
a
can you
deadbeat
neglect
dad.
something
Yeah,
as a
definitely
partner?
heartless. Heartless, soulless, some in my mind.
Because I totally get it. How do you spend 40 weeks with something growing inside of you that's connected and synced with your sleep patterns or unsynced with your sleep patterns, moved and been a part of your entire body, like in sync with you, to then bring it out and be disconnected from it? Now,
So
don't
I
get me
mean,
with
wrong. Not
postpartum
everybody has
Israel, yeah.
maternal instinct, and once again, that goes back to the mentality of where somebody comes from, where they've been, what they've been through. So it's but it is very heartless because some people have taken that and it's like, dang, even though I never got it, it's my chance to give it. And that
Right.
was one of the reasons why I never wanted children, because I never wanted to pass on the traumas of my childhood and my upbringing to someone else and possibly damage someone else's life. But
Right.
then I had children and it was different for me because
Right.
now I didn't get it, but I'm going to give it.
Right. Right. Like, my thing is like I had an abusive relationship with my father, but that just made me a better father than my two sons because I knew what I was lacking and the things I needed. So I made sure in spades that they got it from me every day. So a lot of times this and a lot of what I talk about is using your pain for purpose. That's the way we can take things and trauma we've incurred and turn to something positive and use that trauma to make you a better parent.
I feel that though. I feel that. So we came to a conclusion that women are the better deadbeats. Men,
I agree.
men are the better side pieces.
Right.
So basically, okay. So with that said, though, where does postpartum take place then?
It
Like, is it
happens
in the
right after you had a child.
right after? So if, like,
Yeah,
say it's
so
like a
postpartum aside, because postpartum depression is a real thing. And
that's
it's
what I'm
Okay.
not
saying though. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like, would
so
you consider
postpartum
somebody
aside,
heartless?
if you don't raise your child and you don't have postpartum depression, then yeah, nah.
Because I know this lady. She had to put her child up for adoption because she tried to kill the kid like 3 or 4 times, and she was like, "Yo, I can't take it," because she was going through postpartum depression. Does that make her a deadbeat and heartless?
Nah.
Because she was
No.
going through that
No.
situation.
She chose to save that child's life.
Right.
Yeah. So
And I think a lot.
She tried. A deadbeat mother is one that's not trying. That lady
Right.
tried, and she realized her mental could not handle it. I ended up with postpartum with my last kid, and I never, ever want anybody to experience that. This was my last child. I was married. My husband was there for me the entire time, rubbing my feet, feeding my belly, scratching my scalp, whatever it was. I couldn't even sleep in my bed because it was uncomfortable, but he chose to sleep on the sectional with me because he wanted to make sure I was okay. And then when I birthed the child, I just couldn't. It was something within me that was so sad about having a kid, but it was a chemical imbalance.
So this might be off topic, but I've always been curious about this. How does it feel? Is it like similar to regular depression, or like how does postpartum depression actually feel?
Mine was extreme. I mean, I've experienced depression in my regular within my regular self, but when I was going through postpartum, sometimes my husband would come home and I would just be like, here. Sometimes I would burst into tears in the shower. I would burst into tears going to doctor's appointments. I would look at my child and think like, why did I do this? Why did I create another being into this heartless world to have to take care of and provide for? Like it was definitely something. It got to the point where once I finally overcame it, any friend of mine that had ever told me that they were depressed or had anything of that nature going on in their life, I called them and I apologized because I did not understand the depth of what they were going through until it happened to me.
Ebony, can I pick it back off something you just said? I want to pick because I really like the point you just made, but I think people need to understand a lot of what I think people don't grasp the concept of what women go through hormonally, sometimes even on a daily level, because you all do carry the body. Y'all have a lot going on chemically, and I'm not just talking about menstrual cycles, but just different things. And then you compound that with thyroid issue, and I'm understanding of how when a woman has a child, how it changes her body, how that can affect her mentally. And I think a lot of times if we grow to understand that, they may help things as well.
Yeah, I was when I gave birth to my last daughter. As I said, I'm 4'11". When I gave birth to my last child, I was 350 pounds. She was born 10 pounds 11 ounces,
Right.
and that alone was you talking about being a size and a half bigger than what you were. Then you go back to look, and it's like, who is? I didn't know who I was.
Right.
It's like imagine looking for yourself and not even knowing what you're looking for.
Right.
Mm.
And
So
another thing, I know you asked the difference between postpartum and regular depression. Regular depression, you feel sad, you feel these emotions, you feel down, you feel like you're drowning. With postpartum, you feel all of that, and on top of that, you know that these feelings are wrong. When you're just dealing with depression, it's like, man, I feel like sometimes you may not realize I'm not okay. But when you know that you're supposed to love this child or die for this person, like you're supposed to feel joy, it adds another layer on top of it, knowing that I'm supposed to feel love and great, and I'm feeling hatred. So what's wrong with me? On top of I'm already feeling the way toward this child. Now I got the other pressure of let me put on this happy face and let people think that I love my baby. And why don't I love my baby? What is wrong with me? There's another level on top of that other people may not understand, because you're supposed to have instantly unconditional love.
Right.
Can I
And
ask
you know this. As a mother, you know this.
may I ask a question to the ladies? Is that because my son was born 15 years ago. Is postpartum factored into y'all's pregnancy care? I mean, is it
No,
discussed during? Is not
I don't think
okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with my pregnancy, because it is hormonal.
But I'm saying, is it discussed during the pregnancy? As
Yeah,
after you give birth, you may go through
Oh,
this. I
have you
mean,
talked
yeah,
about it?
yeah,
right.
Um,
yes. Mine was.
oh, mine
Okay,
was.
And,
okay,
and even in those appointments afterwards, they would do mental check-ins. Like whenever you go
okay.
to the doctor, have you felt sad? Have you felt like doing things more than, less than half the time that you normally? So my doctor even asked and made sure, like, do you feel like harming yourself or this child when you're going through this? How do you
Right.
feel?
Okay. I was just curious about that, but thank y'all for answering.
So I had an ex, right? She had 5 abortions. Like, but she's actually crazy right now. She's going crazy basically.
I know.
So hear me out. Do you think like postpartum happens when you're going through abortions too? Because you're still like kind of letting that baby out.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
think it's
exactly.
postpartum. I
What
feel
is
like
postpartum?
with me, my personal opinion, when you have a child in you, you got that child's spirit. And she
Mm-hmm.
knows what she did. I'm pro-choice, whatever you choose to do. I've never had an abortion. Whatever you choose to do, that's your business. But that child is in you. That spirit
Mm-hmm.
is in you. And that thought of what you did to that child 5 times,
Yeah.
that ain't no postpartum, because you didn't even have no baby. But that's
It depends
definitely
on the stage of the abortion as well. It does. It depends on the
Mhm.
stage. Did you get to heartbeat? Did you get to feeling this child
well,
moving?
since the baby's
Right.
born.
But there are certain things that you're gonna recognize depending on the stage you get to with abortions.
Right.
I feel
Right.
like any type of abortion is gonna affect you, because it's a
Right.
type of murder. Like if you accidentally shoot somebody, if you accidentally hit a kid with your car, you're gonna be scared to drive for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
you know what you did. And,
Right.
and you keep doing it. So you know what to do to stop getting pregnant. Like, come on now. You know how to, that's not birth control.
Well,
Abortion is not birth
let
control.
me say one thing. Is my work as an advocate, I have seen cases like that, and the only time I've ever seen the case where you have multiple, well, not the only time, but if there's sexual abuse, you will see victims that have had multiple abortions.
We're speaking about the norm and
The
not
norm,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
exception.
yeah.
right. The on the norm, no. But see, here's the thing. That's not normal. That's what I'm saying.
It's
That's
not
not
like
normal.
Yeah,
five
that's what I'm
abortions
saying.
is
That's
not
not
normal at
normal.
all.
Wait,
Yeah.
question, not to be too much in your business. Were they your kids?
No. This is way before. Nah. This is way before I even started dating her. Basically, this is where her ex-husband and 7 other men. So outside of that, like I had nothing to do with impregnating her. By the time I got with her, she couldn't even have any kids. So
Yeah.
And that probably messes with her because at this point in life,
yeah.
she probably wants to be able to share her life with a child. And now she's damaged herself to the point where physically she
No,
can't
she
do
got
it.
3
Is it
kids. She
possible?
she
Yes.
got 3 kids. She has
I
3
mean,
kids.
or spiritually. You wonder,
Yeah.
man, can I make amends from this? Where I'm going?
Yeah,
Maybe
I feel
she'll
that.
be in there missing in between somewhere upside down. I don't know.
So with all that being said, right?
Mhm.
I kind of understand why you guys are more heartless than me. Because y'all
We're
have to deal with
not.
because y'all have to deal
Wow.
with y'all have to deal with more spiritual entities inside your body. You have to deal with postpartum. You have to deal with PTSD. You have to deal with oppression, like George was saying. You have to deal with racism and all that. So I can feel why why you guys are very heartless and better cheaters.
I feel that we're more
Congratulate you
resilient.
guys for being better cheaters.
That's it. No, we're not more heartless. We're more resilient.